You're listening to Northeast Streaming Sports. A group of independent podcasts came together under one umbrella to give you a network that streams from Northeast, New York, down the East Coast to Louisiana, and across the Atlantic Ocean to the United Kingdom. Northeast Streaming Sports streams live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Can be seen on Twitter and Instagram. Audio carried on Spotify with our own website. For the best sports information, updates, commentary, and entertainment, Sportscope, TGI Sports Talk, The Safety and the Sports Writer, The Philly Sports Guy, The Mac and Jack Sports Show, Stu's Wrestling Podcast, Four Stripes on Ice, Talking Baseball with Sal and Gioletti, Unscripted, The Big Shaw Sports Report, Frankie C Sports, Fantasy Football Face-Off, 12 shows and growing. There's one place to get your sports on Northeast Streaming Sports.
Hey, and we're back. Hey, listen, thanks, guys. We got a lot of people jumped on real fast. All right, so if you want the link, you have to find on the YouTube channel. There's two channels you're going to be able to find it on. El Parcero Philly channel or Northeast Streaming Sports. Those are the only two channels you're going to be able to get the link to come on our show. Please, you got to subscribe and come on to both of them. Either one of them is going to work. And then once you subscribe, you're going to get the link and go right to us. I'm trying to get some people to come to those links. And I'm trying to get some subscribers to that. So let's go, especially El Parcero Philly too. We got to make him grow. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to grow here. So I'm trying to get everybody I can to get over there because we need to get to 1,000 people so that YouTube starts paying us for doing this content. Isn't that what we're talking about? That's what we're trying to do here.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
You got to find Northeast Streaming Sports. And I'll put that out for everybody to be able to get that. And we had one guy he was on it. He was on it already. He got right into the mix. There we go. I'm going to put it out here for you. Northeast Streaming Sports is where it's at. If you want to get the link. And so, I mean, obviously we were talking hockey, but there's a lot of other stuff that's happening. I mean, we got to talk. How about the Sixers?
Yes, sir. They're looking good right now, man. First win without Joel Embiid.
Yeah, you know what? And they were down by 20 points in that game.
Furky stepped up. Ben had himself 21 points. Toby led scores. It was a great win yesterday.
Right. So, there we go. Periscope filters anything that looks like spam. Okay. I guess that Periscope filtered my stuff.
Oh, man.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I can put it. I'll put it on a banner, and that's how it is. So here we go. Got to put up this stuff. So everybody, find Northeast Streaming Sports or El Parcero Philly to get on the show. I know that there's a bunch of people that want to come on. Streaming Sports at YouTube. I want to say that it's at YouTube. I don't even know what you got to find it. You'll find me on there. Or El Parcero Philly. I tell you, the one guy got it on there fast. He's the Orioles sports guy is on here quick. He's always on all the time. He always comes on. He's like an Orioles fan. He's a Washington football team fan. He's a Capitals fan. He's all that. So
the Orioles sports fan. I like it.
What's up, Javier? Come find us. Come check us out. Let's do it. We're going to be talking and see me. It's his birthday today.
Hey, happy
So
birthday, see me.
I know he's trying to find it. I'll jump on here real fast so I can get the actual link to the YouTube account, so that we can kind of do this the right way here. Switch account to Northeast Streaming Sports. We're getting some subscribers on here already. And then let's get, there we go. Let's go to my channel there and copy, and I'll paste that. I'll paste that up there. So if you want to get the link to the show, you got to go subscribe to this link. There we go. Let's put that up there. And there we go. I'll put this. Bam. I know it's like a ridiculous size link, but where we at? Save that. There we go. And you can get this comment off the page now because we know it's his birthday. See me. There he is. It's his birthday.
It's his birthday.
And he looks like Jason Voorhees.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Happy birthday, my man. How you feeling?
Awesome.
Good. Glad to hear.
It was a great week this week, wasn't it?
Yeah. Got the 2 Flyers wins. Awesome.
Yeah. The two wins on the weekend, 2 wins against the Devils. We got 4 wins going on, and I think as of right now, I think that the Capitals are taking it to the Bruins. I mean, last time I checked, it was 2-0. So I'll throw that back up there again, see where we're at.
I think we'll beat them.
Yeah, I think it's 3-1 at the end of 2. So, yeah, I can't wait to play the Capitals. I cannot wait to play the Capitals. So that
They have some superstar goalie. I forget his name, or not superstar, but he's up and coming. I forget his name.
yeah. Well, they got rid of what's his name, right?
Holtby. Yeah.
Goalie.
Yeah. I guess nobody even came in for him. Like nobody took over that. So, I mean, that's I mean, is he playing anymore? Opie? Did anybody pick him up?
Let's find out.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the interesting thing. There we go.
The writing was on the wall there for Holtby, and yeah, I mean, right now Holtby's with the Vancouver Canucks.
The Canucks. How about that? That's not something you hear every day.
It was his time. I mean, the writing was on the wall, like I said, for him in DC, and it's now he's in Vancouver. He's hopefully he can survive, and maybe a team picks him up. Where Vancouver's competing, I feel like.
We lost we lost our
See me, we lost them.
yes. That's all right. We'll be back up, so let's go. And now we got Dylan. What's up, my man? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, Dylan?
What up? So I got a question for you, Philly sports guy. How did you come up with the face painting? Like, what started it?
So I've been painting my face for probably going on 20 years. And it started off with my brother. My brother and I would always go to an away game, and we went to the 49ers game, where we were, had we won that game, we would have won the NFC East, and then we lost like 14-7, I think was the final score of that game. We still won the NFC East that week, and it was the first time I painted my face, and it was like just writing Eagles on my face, just like across my face, like that was the first time. And then just over the years, it's evolved. My 40th birthday, the Mohawk came into play, where I was down in New Orleans, and they asked me what I felt like doing. It was my birthday, and they asked me what I felt like doing at, 1:30 in the morning, and I said, "Why don't we go to a bar and see if they have a set of clippers?" And I shaved my head. And literally, we went to Coyote Ugly, and they shaved my head. They had a set of clippers there, and I got the mohawk, and that was the first time at the mohawk.
What he's not telling you, he originally was one of those guys that would paint on his belly. But then he realized that going to an Eagles game in December when it's 20 degrees out, when it's freezing cold, probably isn't the best idea.
Well, yeah. Well, I tell you what, because the mohawk didn't come into play when I went to Green Bay because I was afraid it was going to be cold.
Oh, rough. You have to wear a helmet then.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so and I, like I said, I've been doing it now. How I finally came up with this, because I was doing a bunch of different things, and it was when the Eagles were wearing the masks.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. Now they kind of look like they're stealing something. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll wear my mask. And then I came up with the idea. It was like, okay, this, and this will always be the same color. And it translates to all the different sports. I can always make it the different colors.
Stay tuned for the Union Philly Sports Guy. I'm waiting for that one.
Who do you think is going to be? Who do you think is going to be in the NBA Finals?
In the finals?
Yeah, finals.
Well, I think it's going to be LA, and I can't tell you which one yet, and the Sixers.
Ooh.
I think the Sixers represent the East. I've said it from the very door. I think that we come out number 2 going into the playoffs, that we come out second place, and then we represent the East in the finals.
I think
I don't know about the Nets. The Nets, they haven't shown what they think they are yet.
It's going to take some time. I've said this before. You're getting 3 just pure scorers to try to play together. Like that's just going to take some time. These guys are used to being the lead scorer on their team, so it's crazy. I think they'll be fine. I think in the playoffs they'll finally figure it out. I don't know how far they can go. Like, if honestly, it kind of feels a little bit like the Clippers last year, where everyone was like, okay, the only thing the Clippers are going to do this year is win the championship because they have Kawhi, they got Paul George, they have a solid team around them. And I feel like this is the same thing with the Nets. Like the Nets, it's the finals to lose, in my honest opinion. And sometimes that's more pressure than what the other teams have to go through. And the Nets also have to find a way to play. Like the thing is, when they did the deal for Harden, they lost LeVert, they lost Jarrett Allen. Those were guys who really were big for the rotation. You lost defense with that too. So now these guys have to figure out how to play. You can't just I get it. They can score with the best of them, but you can't just score in today's NBA. You saw what the Lakers did last year. Those guys won with defense. So it'll be. I think the Lakers will get back there. And look, I really want to say us. I really do want to say us because of Doc, because Joel is ready. But I just don't know if with the way Ben is, his scoring capabilities right now, if that's enough to get us to the finals. He's been playing well in the past week. We saw 2 20-point games, but I just don't know if we have enough. Boston is a team I think can turn it up later in the season. They're kind of like hanging in there, like second or third best in the East. I think they're going to turn it up later on, but I think it's going to be Boston and LA. Unfortunately, I think when it's all said and done, I don't trust us, and I don't trust Brooklyn.
No, I don't. Me neither. I think that Brooklyn is a lot of show, but don't have no dough. That's kind of how I feel. They're not gonna be able to pull it all together. Not this season.
Right.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Like I said, I've been saying from the door, I thought that the Sixers were going to do it, this year and get there. I don't think they're going to win it. Actually, I don't know if they're going to win it. It's going to really depend. I tell you, because the Lakers do not like to play in Philly. Philadelphia has had their number when they come here.
Yeah.
And that's Simmons goes off every time he goes up against the King, LeBron James, he goes off. And I fully expect that if they go into the finals, that's going to be the biggest matchup. You put Simmons on James the entire game. No questions asked on that. And I bet you he would win the MVP of the series because he'd be guarding LeBron so well.
I agree.
That's my thought there. So, anything else, Dill?
Nah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you,
appreciate
Dylan.
it, brother. Thank you very much.
See ya.
Have a good night, my man.
See you,
You
Dylan.
too.
Go Flyers.
Yes,
Go
sir.
fly.
There you go. All right.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah. So anybody that wants to come on, I really do appreciate everybody who wants to come on. Got to go to Northeast Streaming Sports. You know what? I can also do it. You can find us on Facebook too. I will do it off of the Facebook or the YouTube. Definitely got to go on and hit the like button and subscribe. So tell me, what's going on with the union lately?
So this week's actually a big week. Wednesday, they're unveiling the new kits. I am part of the kit committee. A couple media and just different people, influencers around Philly. They brought I think 15 people together, and kind of help with the influence of the kits. So for soccer, I think, especially in the MLS, you find the new uniforms 2 years in advance. So I already knew what this kit looked like last year. I had an influence on the 2022 kits. So Wednesday is going to be a big day because it's something completely different than what fans have seen in our 11-year history. But for the fans, I will say just have an open mind because I think it's a dope concept that they're doing. I can't speak too much on it, but I will just going to say have an open mind about it. Should be a lot of it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a different look, and I think it's great. We're heading into the next decade of union soccer, so when the Eagles went from Kelly green to midnight green, or the Phillies did the maroon and blue to the red and white, or back and forth. These are things that our teams have gone through, so it should be a lot of fun. They re-signed their central defensive midfielder, Jose Brujo Martinez, who in his first year had a breakout season in the MLS, became one of the best defensive midfielders in the league. He got a little contract extension. He's got an option for 2023, 2024, so that was huge as well. But for the Union, I think the fan base right now, they're a little impatient. We want to see the uniforms, which will be dropped on Wednesday. We want to see player signings. The Union haven't signed a player yet. They have sold players. They made record sales with Mark McKenzie and Brandon Aronson, who are in play in Europe right now and playing really well, from my understanding. So now fans just want to see new players. We want to see who they buy. They got some money now. We have more money now than we ever had to spend. So we'll see how they spend it.
Well, so let me ask this: are they changing the colors?
If you look at the teasers, there's a clear light blue and yellow emphasis. So if you guys see the teasers, I'm gonna say it looks like that there will be a color change.
Really? That's going to be hard for the Philly sports guy to kind of do that if they're going to change the colors after I just got a new jersey.
Well, I mean, you can still wear your blue and gold. There's going to be a lot of fans that still have it, and let's face it, they do change their colors. They're going to feel it out first. They'll see how the fans react to it, and if worst case scenario, they'll change back to the usual. But like I said, it's like how the other teams in Philly have changed their uniforms. You just have to have an open mind with it, and who knows? With the black Sixers jersey, those black Sixers jerseys defined an era in Sixers basketball. And you think about those black jerseys, you think of Allen Iverson and those teams. So hopefully, with these changed colors, then we can have our new era that we can think about when we think of these uniforms.
Okay, and then my other question about that is. So there's two guys that went overseas.
Right.
Who are they and where are they playing now?
So Brandon Aronson got sold first. That was during the season. So he got sold to kind of our rival. So the New York Red Bull. Well, they are part of a soccer pyramid of some sorts. Now, a lot of soccer purists are against it. I'm against this as well. But the thing is the Red Bull are the third in the pyramid of their soccer system. So there's two other teams in front of them, Salzburg in Austria and Leipzig in Germany. Brandon got sold to Salzburg. This is a good place for him to go. This is a place where they do develop young kids like Brandon. Brandon is only 20 years old, and he's playing with an American coach. The head coach of Red Bull Salzburg is American and actually did coach in the MLS. So this is the perfect place for him. There's an emphasis of development. He's got some comfortability with the coach. The perfect signing for him. $6 million for him. We can't ask for anything else. Mark McKenzie, he got sold to a bigger league. He got sold to Belgium, another league that's known for development. Both of these players went to good development leagues. Mark went to Belgium. They run a little bit different system, which was interesting to see. Mark here in Philly ran a four back. We had four defensive. I guess you can call them defensive backs if you want to make it simple to understand. And Belgium, his new team, they run three. But we really got to love both. Another record-breaking signing. Both of these players, $6 million signing fees. I think Mark, we can make up to $7 million in incentives when Mark gets sold again. And same thing with Brendan. Brendan, we can make up to $8 million when he gets sold again. So the thought is both these players play no more than 2 to 3 seasons, and we'll see them in the Big Four. That meaning the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, or Bundesliga.
Gotcha. So Frankie's got some questions. Frankie, why don't you just come on?
Come on over, Frankie. We want to talk to you. You guys think the NBA will do a bubble again?
Yeah, that's. I can throw that back up there.
A
lot of COVID and canceled games caused of COVID. I feel like that's why they did we're only going to release half of the schedule
right.
this year for the NBA instead of the whole schedule, because they knew. Listen, basketball players are known to go out after the games and frequent some of the adults clubs.
That's right. That is very true. I think we have to play it out as well. I mean, the vaccine is out there. Players are going to start getting it, and if the cases starting to go down in a lot of states, so we'll have to wait and see and play it out. But things could change. We might have to do a bubble, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I understand the whole idea about a bubble, but realistically,
players don't like it.
No, they don't. Now hockey players are a different breed, so I understand that. But when you're talking about a bubble,
right?
For basketball players, they need to be more social.
Right.
That's an ego-driven league, and you can't be egotistical when you ain't seeing nobody else.
That's right. Also, too, man, like you're getting separated from your family for a lengthy amount of time. Like it's one thing if you're single, but if you got a wife and kids, like that's tough to be away from a long time. And so like last NBA bubble, like the Lakers and the Heat were there the longest, right? So they were there for, I believe, almost 3 months. Like that's a long time away from your family. And I'm a big fan of the JJ Redick podcast. And he had a great episode talking about the bubble, and it just kind of sounded inconvenient, to be honest with you.
Well, he had to leave. His birthday boy had to leave, so that's why I'm just reading that now. I'm late on the thing. Well, I tell you, we have a ways to go before we have to worry about that bubble. And I don't think I'm interested to see if if we're going to have to redo a bubble. You know what I mean? So that's I'm not really. I know COVID rules the world, but I mean, I don't know who's getting it, who's not. You know what I mean? I feel like that everybody is doing these things, but the world's going to have to open up sooner than later. You know what I mean? Ultimately, people are going to, start coming back out of their caves.
Right. I agree with you. I mean, listen, I've been wanting to get your opinion for a while. Now, I know we have stopped airing Bird's Breakdown for over a month now. But I have to know, Philly sports guy, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts on the young Nick Sirianni here? I've been waiting to get your opinion.
hope he coaches better than he talks.
He's been getting a lot of slack for that.
He was not very good at all when it
Yeah, I
came.
hear you. It wasn't really composed. He sounded like it was his first time doing the job, which you don't want to hear.
He was nervous. He was very nervous.
Right.
And because of that, I kind of liked that. I didn't mind that he was nervous. It just, when he started to fumble over just saying thank you to certain people, that's where I started to get a little nervous about things. It's like, maybe they could have done this a little better. You know what I mean? Just, maybe they could have prepped him a little better.
Right.
That's more the thing.
See, the thing is with me, like, obviously the Eagles are just looking for coaches that can deal with being okay with saying yes all the time. That's why Doug wanted to leave. And I think with Sirianni, and it's obviously after watching the press conference, it was more clear, like they're looking for him to be another yes man as well. And the problem with that is how he handles the locker room. It's one thing, you hear what you hear in the press conference, but how is he in front of those guys? And he's got to, he's not that far off in age from some of these players that are in that locker room already. So going in there, he's got to try to find a way to gain some respect. Now, the good news is that, hearing from Indy, some of those guys that he did coach, they have nothing but great words to say. And he did help development of a lot of those players over in Indy. So we'll see how he takes the respect of the players. But I'm not, with me, it's not Nick that I don't trust. It's above him that I don't trust.
Well, that is exactly where I go with this. That this specifically is Howie trying to get some credit for winning the Super Bowl. Because I feel like that he feels very slighted. He won Executive of the Year that year. So really, he deserved it, that recognition. However, he listens he puts his ear to the ground and he hears, well, Doug won the Super Bowl. Well, no, it wasn't Doug. It was Frank Reich that won the Super Bowl. The same Frank Reich who they were going to fire in 2016. And that it was him that won the Super Bowl. And I feel that he hears that. And that he is like, well, it wasn't Doug. It wasn't Frank. I'm going to prove to you that it was me. And that's why he made this choice. I feel like that it had nothing to do with it. Because if any other coach comes in, they would say if it was Bieniemy, if it was McDaniel, any one of those are going to have the clout to say that they were the reason why. He wanted to get somebody who didn't have the clout.
Right.
To say that he's got it. It's his reason. So there's two sides to this sword, though. Because if you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
That's right.
So you've got to make. He's now made that choice. He's made his bed. He's going to be lying in it.
That's right.
And this season, I am of the thought process that we may go 6-10, 7-9.
I agree. But that's fine with me. Like, this team has been, we've been riding long and hard with the Super Bowl team. There's still a lot of pieces from that Super Bowl team. And I think right now you need to rebuild that core, right? Rebuild that locker room, get those veteran guys. And you're still going to have guys like Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham. Hopefully Jason Kelsey's back. Hopefully Lane Johnson, Brandon Brooks are healthy and back. You have some pieces to kind of mold the next generation of the Eagles. But obviously the question is the quarterback position as well. And I think that it's smart. And I told you this too, that next year you got to go into the competition simply because of the way Carson Wentz's contract is set up. And because Jalen did show some flashes. And I think that when you went 4-11-1, you fire your coach, you bring in a new coach. The only logical thing to do is to have competition throughout the field. not just the quarterback position, but every position there has to be competition. And I'm happy that he did state that there will be competition throughout the field. So we'll see. I like the young. Obviously that's the other thing. Howie and Jeff wanted to follow the trend. They wanted that fresh young mind, and obviously with Sirianni, it made sense because of his connection with Frank Reich and what he's done with different quarterbacks and who he has worked with. And even you look at the rest of this, the rest of this coaching staff. Jonathan Gannon, he's like 30. Was he 30 or 40? He's the same age as Sirianni. The offensive coordinator Shane Steichen is 35 years old. So, and Brian Johnson, they got the quarterbacks coach who I'm intrigued to see what he can do with these quarterbacks. But that was definitely the trend, finding those young guys. Hopefully, these young minds can connect with this locker room.
Doesn't the defensive coordinator look like Murr from? I literally, I wish I could pull that one up. He totally looks like Murr from what's that show where all the four guys are always busting each other's balls about it.
I have no idea, but
they're all like four comedians and they literally bust each other's balls.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The Jersey guys, right?
Yeah, they're New York guys, I figure, but they might be from Jersey.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, they like pull pranks on everyone.
Yeah, well, Murr is one of the guys.
Yeah.
And he's the one with the ball head.
Yeah, he kind of does. He's jacked as well, and he's another one where I think you're going to like him because he has a defensive background, but the guy's developed some good guy. Like he took Xavier Rhodes, who had I think 2 bad years, brought him to Indy. And Xavier Rhodes held his own, and that's really refreshing here. Like the Philly sports guy, when was the last time we had a good secondary? Not an okay average secondary, but a good secondary. It's been a while.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know about
Doug and Jim never had a good secondary in the 5 years.
But I mean, they did have one. He showed up. He's not Impractical Jokers. Thank you, Michael. There we go. And we are adding to the stream Frankie C Sports. Straight from
Hey, what's going on, Frankie? Pleasure, man.
What's going on? Thank you for having me real quick.
Hey, anytime.
I'm good. Man. How are you guys?
We're blessed, man. It's an okay time right now in Philly sports, but it's a wild roller coaster ride over here.
So Frankie C, just so everybody knows, Frankie C is another one of the podcasters on the Northeast Streaming Sports Network. He does a lot of Boston. However, he's not really like a true Boston fan. He's like a Patriots Fugazi fan, and then he's like a Lakers fan, and then he's like a Yankees fan. So he's like a bandwagon fan all the way across the board. But that's okay. We still like him anyways because he knows a lot about sports.
So thing about that. So thing about that. All right. When I was young, the first sport, being a Hispanic, person.
Let's go, baby.
In my family, when I was little, growing up and stuff like that, it was all baseball. So baseball was the first major sport that I have learned before anything while growing up. And walking, going into my grandfather's house and stuff like that, you can't be no other fan but a Yankee fan. So like we basically grew up as being Yankees fans. So that was basically my first major sport. And since then on, I've always been a Yankee fan. I'll always be a Yankee fan. But growing up and stuff like that, learning football and everything like that, in the 90s, I loved Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe is an amazing guy. And that's what made me love the New England Patriots was Drew Bledsoe. So and then loving Tom Brady coming in and stepping up and winning our championships that Drew Bledsoe couldn't do. It made me love the Patriots even more and more. So and then with hockey, I'm not really much of a hockey guy, but I'm learning little by little much about hockey, and I'm learning into it. So right now I am loving the Boston Bruins. No doubt about that. I am gonna stick with Boston on that side. But I'm liking what the Bruins are looking like, and with basketball,
he knows that I got a lot to say about the Flyers. That's why he doesn't know anything. He didn't know anything about hockey. He didn't even know how to spell the word Bruins until he met me. So
Very nice. No, I'm happy actually because as a fellow Hispanic Latino over here, you like that's the one thing. Like I tell people like I love the Flyers. I'm a big Flyers guy. I love hockey, and they're like, "Aren't you Latino? Like, why are you big?" And like we can like hockey. It's a great sport. It's exciting. It's fun. It's different. Obviously, a lot of Hispanic and Latino countries aren't playing hockey, but it's a great sport to get behind, especially here in Philly. Like the whole nostalgia with the Flyers, I can't not get into it.
Right, yeah. And the one thing I like about it is the fights. Like, who doesn't like the fights?
We were just talking about that today.
Man. Nasty.
We need more. It's been a young season, and I think teams are kind of like trying to save their bodies for later on. But we haven't seen a lot of fights thus far. We kind of could use our Flyers with a little fight here and there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was talking about that a little earlier about the Flyers not fighting a lot, but don't worry, this season's early yet, and you're going to start to see. You'll see a lot more chippiness between Boston and Philadelphia these next two games coming up. I mean, it's going to be a big.
Oh yeah, I'll be watching. I'll be watching. I'll be watching because you know what? I'll be coming after you, man. I'm coming after both of you.
Hey, listen,
I'm repping Boston for my Boston fans.
You'll see the Philly sports guy in full effect on Wednesday. I'm going to be painted up on Wednesday to let everybody know I'm rooting for because I'm painting up on Wednesday because that'll be the last time I'm able to do it before before the Super Bowl because I'll be all eagled up afterwards. So, I got to go down and represent Philadelphia at the Super Bowl, even though we ain't in it. I'm still going to be the loudest fan there, yelling EAGLES Eagles. That's what I'm talking about.
So Frankie, is Boston and New England area all bucked up right now? Are you guys all rooting for the Bucks?
Actually, we are. We're rooting for Tom Brady. We want Tom Brady to win his 7th ring, even though he's not with us. But we're still behind Tom Brady for what he did for us. And I, in my opinion, if I'm speaking for all Boston and for all Patriot fans, I'm pretty sure we're all excited to see Tom Brady make even more of a history than what he did with us. He did make history with us by winning 6 rings, but he can even make an even more impressive legacy by winning more rings than any franchise in NFL history. So, and we all as Patriot Nation is excited to see that, even though he's not with us. And we're also excited for Gronk as well, coming out of retirement and going right back with Tom Brady. He's not doing as much as he would have done when he was with the Patriots, but he still helped here and there with some touchdowns on the red zone. And he still helped them take them to the Super Bowl. So us as Patriot Nation, we're really excited. And we're behind Tom Brady. I wouldn't say the Bucks, but we're definitely behind Tom Brady.
Well, let me ask this question to you. What is the thought process about the dynamic between Brady and Belichick, and what this does to Belichick's legacy moving forward? Now, I know Belichick's got 10 rings already, so
I don't think it's going to change much. I don't think it's going to change much with Bill Belichick. I mean, definitely differently as a GM wise. In my opinion, I wouldn't. I don't want to see Bill Belichick right now as a GM just because of what he's been doing the last couple of years with draft picks and stuff like that. But definitely after the Jimmy Garoppolo trade to the San Francisco 49ers when it was behind Bill Belichick's back and Tom Brady went to Robert Kraft and dealt with that. I feel that since then on, their relationship went downhill because, you can tell from the 2 years from then on, 2 or 3 years after that, Bill Belichick wasn't even giving Tom Brady his weapons or anything like that. So it kind of showed that Bill Belichick had no reason to try and keep Tom Brady around. It was either he was trying to push him to retirement or he was either doing what he was doing this year and push him to free agency and going to another team. But it's not going to change Bill Belichick's legacy. Bill Belichick, to me, is still one of the greatest coaches of all time. And we're going into this offseason with the 4th highest cap space, and I think he's going to do smart things with that money. But first things first is we got to look for that quarterback that we're going to have under center because Cam Newton's bum arm didn't do nothing for us. So hopefully we can, do something else at the quarterback position. We can't get Matthew Stafford now, as everybody's seen. Matthew Stafford didn't even want to come to us. He said he'll rather go anywhere else but the Patriots. So, him going to the Rams and Jared Goff going to the Lions. My theory is Bill Belichick is going to try everything in his power to bring back Jimmy G to New England, because in the first place, Bill Belichick didn't even want Jimmy Garoppolo to go. He's seen that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be the future of the New England Patriots, and since he sees that the 49ers are looking like they don't even want to keep Jimmy G anymore, Bill Belichick is probably going to do what he can to get Jimmy G back.
So the one thing that I've noticed about the Patriots is that the Patriots don't really grow out of the draft. They're always good at picking up players that other teams don't want. High draft picks that other teams couldn't figure out. I mean, so I think of Chung. Chung was cut by the Eagles and then had a great career out in New England. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of people that have made it their way through New England that couldn't make it somewhere else. And I find that very interesting, how he's able to, extend the career of some of these guys that don't do that, that don't make it in other places. That being said, I wondered, so, I mean, I feel like that he got cornered into his quarterback this year. You know what I mean? That was the best of a really bad bunch, and that you got to see exactly how bad that bunch was. That he really didn't have really any other answers that he could take, and that Cam Newton was his only option, and Cam wasn't ready to step up to be Tom Brady. And not that anybody ever really tried to put him in those shoes, but
and you know what? And I don't blame. And I don't blame Bill Belichick for that. You know what? I'm glad that he went for Cam Newton. I actually stood behind Cam Newton since the very beginning. I even changed since I heard the Tampa Bay changing their name to Tampa Bay Gronkaneers. I said, hey, the hell with it, and I went on to call ourselves the New England Patriots. I was 100% behind Cam Newton, thinking because he's that running quarterback still, great with the legs and he has the arm and stuff. I'm thinking he's 100%. He says he's 100%. I'm watching the guy's videos of him working out and he's looking great and stuff like that. So I'm over here thinking, okay, the man is going to do something and he's going to hopefully bring us back to the playoffs. But that's not what happened. But you know what? I'm still glad Bill Belichick went and grabbed Cam Newton, because if we would have stood behind Jarrett Stidham and let him start, or even Brian Hoyer, we would have had a more terrible season than what we'd have had this year. We went on 7-9 with Cam Newton. If we would have had Jarrett Stidham or even Brian Hoyer, I could see us at least winning maybe 2, even 3 games tops this year. So with Bill Belichick getting Cam Newton and having faith in Cam Newton, I even had faith in Cam Newton, so I was good on that part. But that's also why Bill Belichick gave him that little 1-year contract, not even worth anything, because it was like a little, okay, let me see what you got. And if you get us to where we need to be, I'll give you the future franchise quarterback contract. But since he didn't do that, they're going to part ways. And Bill Belichick is going to move on from there. And hopefully, like I said, he gets Jimmy G, because I would love to see Jimmy Garoppolo come back in a New England uniform.
That'll be interesting.
I feel like it's going to take a couple of years, though. I mean, it's not just like the quarterback position. Like Cam also didn't have any weapons there. I'm not sure about your line situation. The running back has always been a running back by committee. The defense wasn't. It was, you guys were never stout, but you guys were always great at getting turnovers, and that's always huge. But what's the thought there in New England? Like, do you guys just think you're a quarterback away from getting back to the playoffs?
Definitely not. I said this on Unscripted on Wednesday night or Thursday night when I was on their show. I said that I see the Patriots in about another 2 years, 3 years tops. You're right. It is going to take some time. It's not going to take a one season thing to even get back into what we used to be. But we do have to get the quarterback, and with the salary cap that we have, hopefully Bill Belichick can do what he can and get the weapons. With the quarterback that we get. First things first, hopefully he can get the quarterback before the draft time, so that way we know who's going to be our quarterback, who we're going to have under center, and who we're going to be comfortable with the arm. So if we can get a quarterback before the draft, Bill Belichick can have the mindset of, okay, should I keep this draft pick number 15, or should I do something with it and try and get some weapons or anything like that? But defensively, everybody's forgetting that we had the highest opt-outs for COVID this year with 8 players, and half of those players are mainly defense, like Patrick Chung and Dante Hightower and many more. So, and missing Dante Hightower was a big key, miss part on our defense, because he was the guy who can stop the runs and who can get the interceptions with the slant routes and stuff like that. So that was a big miss up on missing Dante Hightower, but hopefully they come back next year and things like that. And people are also forgetting that we picked up Marquise Lee from a trade or free agency from the Jacksonville Jaguars. He opted out last year, so that's a wide receiver that Cam Newton could have had but didn't have because he wanted to opt out. But he will be back next season. He even said that he was going to come back next season. So hopefully, with the quarterback, whoever we get under center, that's the weapon they also got. Hopefully next year we get a fully healthy Julian Edelman back. That'll be another weapon right there. I'm not really famous on N'Keal Harry. If I was Bill Belichick, I would try everything in my power to try and trade away N'Keal Harry for at least somebody defensively or even offensively. Who cares? Just get away with N'Keal Harry, because that kid is he's messing up on every asset.
Damn.
All right, so I'm going to bust your balls a little bit more, at least ask you bust your balls questions. So everybody else in the NFL calls the Patriots cheaters. The Eagles, we know that you guys cheated for our Super Bowl. We know it now. Like it's been confirmed. You guys knew the plays. You guys had people videoing practices and stuff like that. And it's okay, because ultimately you still got to do your job to win the game. And they did their job and we didn't. But when you hear that type of stuff and you hear those things, and what are some of your thoughts? What are some of Patriots fans' thoughts? Because it's one thing to brush it off and be like, yeah, you guys are just haters. It's another thing to hear somebody say, hey, listen, you guys did this and you guys got caught. You guys did this and you guys got caught. You guys did this as recently as this year and got caught. So that's what is your response to that as a Patriots fan?
For all my Patriot fans out there, all my Patriot brothers and sisters, this is my response.
He did. He flashed the rings.
Okay, that's all I have to say. That's all I'm gonna show.
That's weak sauce, right? That's weak sauce, because that means it's like stealing them. It's like you stole them. That's hey, listen. Oh, we don't care because we won them, and they're not going to give them back because they caught us cheating. Right? Of course not, because they're not going to do that because because the NFL would have a black eye. So that's what happened. But
listen, they got caught. Tom Brady got his time for that. Bill Belichick got his fine for what he did and things like that. But I don't know. What I say is, did we cheat in the Super Bowl? Can anybody prove that we cheated in the Super Bowl? I mean, they prove time and time again that we cheat during regular seasons by Spygate, Deflategate, going in to Cincinnati and cheating on over there and secretly videotaping over there. But do they have proof in any Super Bowl history for the Patriots? Did we cheat in the Super Bowl? In my theory, I don't think we ever cheated in any of the Super Bowls. I think we won all the Super Bowls fair and square, because if you look at it, the first 3 Super Bowls we won by 3 points. So it was kind of like you can't cheat there because it was all tight games. Including with the Eagle, we had to fight back with you guys the first time to even try and get to win that Super Bowl. So it was by those ones. It was good.
Yeah, hold on. But that was the time when we found out that all those practices were being videotaped and that you were you were checking on the CEO, checking on all the signals and stuff like that. That you guys, that Teddy Bruschi was calling out the play being run on the last set of downs. On the last series, he was calling out the plays that were being run before they were being run. Now, Teddy Bruschi, I know I met him briefly when he was in Philly, when he didn't want to eat a cheesesteak. He was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to touch this. Because truth of the matter is, he was afraid that somebody put cyanide in there because he knows he cheated. He knows they were cheating. So I understand why he didn't have the cheesesteak. He thought somebody might have spit in it or something. So, you know what I mean? I'm just saying that you guys did cheat. It was known. It is known still, and you guys won the Super Bowl from it. And, all right, that's what happened. I can't give it up to you. I mean, obviously, it's like I can't go back in time and make it different. But you flashing me those rings don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? Because if they
got your redemption
legally, I don't care. Now, I mean, Tom,
you got your redemption.
Hey, Frankie, you still made me cry as a kid, man. I was 10 years old. I still remember that.
I was older than 10.
My Super Bowl losses are worse than any of your Super Bowl losses that you have witnessed.
What? How?
The
whoa!
Oh, yeah. No, 85 was bad. 85 was bad.
I've witnessed the 18-0 going, 18-0 losing to the Giants. I witnessed a forced fumble sack against the Eagles.
I'll say this right for Sneaky G right here. That was the one time I was rooting for the Giants and Eli Manning. I was the one time I rooted for the Giants. So there you go, Sneaky G. You can make that cut. The Philly sports guy rooted for the Giants against Tom Brady and the 18-0. Yeah, because realistically, that season we played you guys. And you guys were a 27.5-point favorite. And I asked my bookie at the time, because I was a betting guy at the time, I'm like, what is the money line on that? Because I think the Eagles could beat them. You guys won that game on a last-minute drive to win the game. And that was in 2006, was it? It was 2006, right?
2006, 2007.
Right. So
2007, 2008, I believe.
Yeah. And I think what was it? 90. What was the Packers and the Patriots at 93? No, 95. That was the Packers. It was their time. It was their time to win that one. Obviously, our great Reggie White.
Hey, I remember 1985 when it was 45-3 against the Super Bowl Shuffle crew of Chicago. You know what I mean? So I remember the Patriots getting beat up all the time.
Hey, they did stop sweetness, right? You guys shut down Walter Payton that day.
Right, but the Fridge scored a touchdown. So we can go back and forth with that a lot, I'm sure. You know what I mean? But it was.
We'll see each other soon. We got another two more years, and then we'll see each other again.
I'm coming up to New England for that. I will be up there, all painted up. Hey, listen, you going to hang out with us for a minute, Frankie?
Sure.
You got somewhere to go? I know you got your daughter who likes to use your phone, but
no. No, I'm all set. I'm good.
All right, I'm gonna bring on. We got Hyper Knight. He wanted to come on, so what's up, man? How you doing?
Hyper Knight.
Good. What's up? Can you guys hear me?
Perfect.
Yeah, we can.
All right. How you guys doing today?
We're doing good. So we got a Boston guy on here just in case you wanted to bust him up a little bit. We were gonna let you.
All right. I don't really know what to say because they're superior. The Patriots have been superior for a while, but 41-33. Think about that for a few seconds.
Look at that. He leads right off with it. A left hook and an uppercut. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I heard.
Hey, always remember you should be 2-0 in the Super Bowl right now.
2 for 3 actually.
Yeah, that
Right,
Raiders
a
loss
two-
still
look at that.
hurts. But besides Raider loss, I mean, honestly,
I was gonna say, I don't think you remember that Raiders loss, do you?
No, I'm only 12, so
Yeah, I was gonna say,
He knows his history. That's
I
good.
remember the Raiders loss.
the only
I was only 8 at the time, but I remember it.
the only
Hey,
the
at
only
least-
go ahead.
At least you get to witness a Super Bowl win before Philly sports guy and Philly guy over here. You know, they had to wait until they were in their 30s.
El
Yeah.
Parcero's younger than you, Frankie.
It's
Yeah.
it's all the Philly sports are taking the years off of me. That's all.
Yeah, you gotta think about it though. When was the last time the Patriots had a good running back? You gotta think about it. In my mind, I don't really know. I
We
feel
got
like they
good
haven't
running-
had a good running back.
Corey
We have a good
Dillon.
one. We have a good
Oh,
running back
yeah.
right now. We have James White. We have Sony Michel. We have
Whatever.
Damon Harris. We have a good running back.
Is it
I don't
Burkhead
know.
part of Arizona? Burkhead's
Yeah.
part of Arizona now, ain't he?
Oh, okay.
I've never been a big fan of any of the Patriots running backs before Dillon. Kind of.
Wasn't
Like-
Marshall Faulk on the Patriots at one point too?
Nah.
I can
Yep.
check.
Was he? Oh yeah. He was.
Yeah,
like,
we have Falk.
He
He won our
started.
he won our first Super Bowl win with us.
He started his career with the Pats. Then he went to the.
No,
Yeah,
Marshall
Marshall
Faulk
Faulk.
never played for him. No, never. Marshall
No,
Faulk never
no,
played for
I-
you guys?
Way out of the back.
I'm thinking of Curtis Martin. That's what I'm thinking of.
Ah,
Because they were both like wearing 28. They were the smaller back, so I'm like confusing. But no, Marshall Faulk started with the Colts. Then he got traded to the Rams. And he ended
biggest
his,
mistake of all time.
who's that? I'm sorry.
Which is funny
That's the
because
biggest mistake. Because Marshall Faulk's Marshall Faulk's a Hall of Famer. That's the biggest mistake ever to trade him. That's a big mistake by the Colts.
I think because it had something to do with Peyton. Because I think it didn't work out the first year. Obviously, Peyton was still a rookie, but I think it worked because they got good draft picks and they wound up drafting Edgerrin James, which worked out. But
Was he ever that good, Edgerrin James?
he was pretty solid. Edgerrin in his
Hold on,
day
was he any good? Was
pretty
Edgerrin James any good?
I never watched him.
Edgerrin James was beast mode before beast mode.
he was a touchdown machine, that was for sure.
Yeah,
And
he
it
was,
really-
he was definitely a beast to try to put. Like I can like when I think of Edgerrin James and I think of the running backs of that time, I think of like Christian Okoye. You know, I think of like John Riggins before him, where they were just bruising back, like Mike Allstott, guys that you couldn't just get down.
Right.
And Edgerrin James was better than all of them because he actually could move and do some cuts.
Yeah, he was shifty. But the
hey
crucial
guys,
part go ahead.
I'm sorry for the interruption. I have a update. The Bruins had came back and beat the Washington Capitals 5-3.
God.
5-3. Beat him in
Damn.
regulation.
Oh my god.
Frankie, we'll see you Wednesday.
Yeah. But again, Edgerrin James is
Rivalry
also
night on Wednesday. Rivalry night.
Hyper Night. So here's the thing about Edgerrin James. So when you're talking about Peyton Manning, obviously Peyton didn't have a lot of mobility. So what was really key about Edgerrin James was he was one of the best pass blockers. And what they would do a lot, he would pass block, and then he would become the check down guy. And that is where he would kill you. Right
so
there.
that means he was very tricky at that. So he could block and get off and then boom, run.
Right. The only reason why he didn't finish with Indy, it was because they couldn't pay him. You had Peyton, you had Marvin, you had Reggie Wayne.
Yeah, he had one of the
Alex
best teams
Clark.
of all time, maybe.
And so he went to Arizona, and he actually helped Arizona in that Super Bowl run when they made it.
Yeah, I mean, he had 1,000 rushing yards twice in Arizona.
Yeah, man. He was cool to watch. He was
Was
fun to
Bruce was Bruce Arians the offensive coordinator during that Arizona Super Bowl run?
No,
watch. He was not. Bruce was in Pittsburgh.
He was their head coach.
no, I think he was in.
What-
No,
what-
I
He
don't
wasn't the
know.
head coach. I thought he was part of it, though.
No, so the coach for the Cardinals in the Super Bowl was Ken Wisenhunt. Ken
Oh, yeah.
Wisenhunt was the offensive coordinator for the Steelers.
Was
Bruce
Ken wasn't
Arians-
any good.
Nah, he was an all right play caller. I think he got fired recently from Tennessee, and I haven't heard from him yet. But
Huh?
he was nothing crazy.
Who?
Mhm.
Who we talking
Yeah, because they're
about?
saying this is Bruce.
Ken Wisenhunt. Bruce Arians was an offensive coordinator for the Steelers, and then it didn't work out. He went to the Colts. That's when you saw him become the head coach. Doran
And
Pagano.
Bruce Arians, the Temple football Bruce
Oh yeah,
Arians.
man.
He was part of Temple football back in the day.
I'm thinking about the time.
From York,
I'm thinking about the time when the
Pennsylvania,
Cardinals.
Arians.
Where is he from?
I'm thinking about when the
York,
Cardinals faced the
Pennsylvania.
Steelers in the Super Bowl.
Philly sports guy. I think he's from Paterson, New Jersey, but
No, from York, Pennsylvania.
okay.
He's not from Paterson. He's from York, PA.
Wow.
So that's right up the street from me. And he's also, his birthday is in the same month as mine, so he's almost cool.
Yeah.
And he was the Arizona Cardinals head coach from 2015 to 2017. He was the offensive coordinator for Pittsburgh in 2007 and 2011. In 2012, he was the interim head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. That was the year that I don't know what happened that year. But,
Well, Pagano. Well, what are you talking about? 2012.
2012.
Pagano had cancer. He had to take the lead. That's when he became the interim coach.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That Colts team with a rookie quarterback and Andrew Luck. I think they won 11-5. They came back and beat the Chiefs, and I think they lost the next round to the Ravens.
He won Coach of the Year that year, actually.
Yeah, he was incredible. And then you saw what he did in
As
Arizona.
an assistant coach, he won with the Steelers in Super Bowl 40. I should know this because I was up there in Detroit. And he won in Super Bowl 43 as also a Steelers coach.
Guy's incredible, man. Incredible track record. Might win another one on Sunday.
And he was the head coach of Temple football from 1983 to 1988. Got to give that Philly his pride.
Anyway, can we talk about Cam Newton's 8-10 season this year?
You mean 8-8 season?
No,
Uh,
8-10.
It was 7. It was 7-9.
No, I mean the 8 touchdowns and 10 interceptions.
I was really.
He has 8 passing touchdowns, but he has more rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, that's the bad
So
part
10
about Cam. He can't really throw in my mind right
His
now.
arm got shot too.
But
Man.
Did he?
but He
Well,
was
saying-
on,
Go ahead, Frankie.
like we said earlier. Cam Newton didn't have anybody. He didn't have nobody
Yeah.
to pass to.
Yeah, I guess.
I think though that was a shoulder injury he had with Carolina a couple of years ago. I think it really affected him. He definitely has lost some of that power in his
Oh yeah.
throw.
All right, I'm going to throw
And that
somebody
car
else in
crash.
the mix. He shows up here all the time. I'm going to throw the Washington football team fan on here. Just
Why does it
so-
say WTF?
He's from Chicago, so he's like a Blackhawks and a Bulls fan too. But and he was too young to remember when Chicago the Bears beat. He wasn't alive. Beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl
Yeah.
with Jim McMahon and the Super Bowl shuffling
Jim
crew.
McMahon was never that good. Jim McMahon
What was that?
never, ever that good.
1985?
That's first off, you are not true. That is definitely Fugazi. If I would be taking points away from you if I was on ESPN doing that thing. No, Jim McMahon was a great quarterback and would have been a great offensive coordinator, except for the fact that he got the concussion started to get to him.
All right.
And I got a story about that afterwards. But go ahead.
But Jim McMahon was the Eagles quarterback?
Say again?
Jim McMahon was the Eagles quarterback.
He was for a while. After Chicago, he came with Buddy Ryan.
Well, he went to San Diego, then came to Philly, but yeah.
Right. Once Buddy Ryan became the coach, he came here. And then was also here. So I'll tell my story now. He was also here during the Kotite era. And Kotite was known for 7-2. He was 7-2 and then lost the next 7 games.
Well,
You know,
sorry.
and the reason why he went 7-2 was because at halftime, Jim McMahon would make all of the adjustments. And Kotite said that he wouldn't amount to that he wasn't nothing. They had an argument that he wasn't nothing. He stopped doing the adjustments. Kotite lost the next 7 games.
Oh my God. So he could have won 0-16.
Look it up.
Kotite was hilarious, man. We thought Doug would be
And then he went to the Jets and lost a lot there too.
We thought Doug would pull Kotite and go to the Jets, but he didn't.
No, he's with Seattle, isn't he?
Hey,
No, he said he
WTF
took a
fan,
year off.
what made you like Washington?
My dad was born in
Sean
Lakewood,
Teller.
Washington.
Oh. I thought you said Sean
Okay,
Tower.
okay.
All right. Come on, Mike Hyper Knight. I gotta listen to you so he can talk. Go ahead, Washington fan.
Real quick, I want to ask you Philly fans this. Okay. Do you got what are your thoughts on the new coach?
So I was talking about that a little bit. I'll let El Parcero talk.
I think Sirianni's got a good head on his shoulders. Obviously, everyone's talking about the press conference. He didn't sound so concise, I guess you could say. But look, I think he's got a good head on his shoulders, and just from hearing what former players, people who have worked with him, it's good things. And he's emphasis on development is something we need. Like, you got to understand, like, this locker room needs to be kind of revamped a little bit. Like, I think we're going into our new era of Eagles football. And we'll see with Sirianni. I think Sirianni can get the job done. You know, Philly Sports Guy and myself have constantly said it. I think the one thing that we think Sirianni can be a good coach. We just don't trust the front office to give Sirianni the right tools to get the job done. But, you know, he's a great young mind. It's clear the Eagles wanted to follow that trend of the young, the McVeighs, the Zach Taylors, all that. And they think they got their guy in Sirianni, but we'll see. Time will tell. Obviously, we got to figure out what's going on with this QB situation, but it's going to take.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that too.
Yeah, Wentz will start.
I think it's going to be a competition, and I think it's correct unless Howie pulls some 2017 Howie finds a way to give us a good deal and Wentz goes somewhere else. But I just don't see it happening. I really think that people called on the Howie. Like people are a little. It's kind of like Danny Ainge right now in basketball. Like people are kind of like skeptical doing deals with the Eagles, and it's going to be tough to get him out. You're talking about, at least you'd have to eat all that money up. That's a lot of money to be eaten up for him not to even play. So I think your best case scenario is you're just going into training camp, QB competition everywhere, not just quarterback, every position.
Side running.
And except for running?
Except for running game, I don't want a competition in there.
Why is that?
Because Miles Sanders is my guy.
Fine. People love Miles Sanders, man.
He's amazing, honestly. He's dual threat.
So I'm gonna ask you guys all this. What do you guys think on the Stafford trade?
Lions won, but it's pretty even. Stafford's a good quarterback if they need it for the Rams. Because honestly, Jared Goff, he has a weird release. He's like this, and he moves his hand all the way back down, and they like throws it. It's like weird. I'm like, oh my god.
Welcome to the Hyper Night Show.
Sorry. All right.
No, that's cool. That's cool, brother. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. You're doing good. You're doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Frankie, what do you think? What are they thinking up there?
I think it was an amazing trade on the Rams part. They give Matthew Stafford, great weapons, great defense. We could finally see the Matthew Stafford that he normally is. He didn't get the chance to show that in Detroit. He didn't have no weapons or anything like that. He always kept on losing. And if he finally got a good coach that knows what he's doing, and he finally got some people that he can throw to. He's finally got good tight ends, and he's finally got a defense where he knows the defense is going to bring him back on the field and give him a shot down the field. So it was a great part, and it was also good on the Detroit Lions. They get the 2 first-round draft picks and a 3rd-round draft pick, and they also get Jared Goff. Nothing wrong with Jared Goff. It's just he wasn't, the Los Angeles Rams way. If he would have stood with the Rams, he would have definitely cost Sean McVay his job, most likely. Because, for a quarterback that took him to the Super Bowl, then got eliminated the next year, not even going to the playoffs, and then, getting knocked out with the number 1 defense this year, it just proved right there that Jared Goff wasn't the answer. Hopefully we could see the MVP caliber that Matthew Stafford truly is. I think it was a great deal on the Rams' part. They definitely won that one.
I think that if the Rams don't win a Super Bowl, this is a bust. This is why they got their quarterback away from getting to that big game and winning it. We'll see. Time will definitely tell, but you gave up 3 first-round draft picks, and I know that first-round draft picks aren't that valuable these days. You can find good talent later rounds.
2 first rounds. 2 first rounds.
I thought it was 3.
No, it's two first rounds and a third round.
There's two.
Yeah,
Two first round and a third rounder.
All right, well, they still gave up two first. They gave up first round draft picks, but I think if they don't win a Super Bowl, it's really not even going to be worth it.
Mhm.
So,
What?
Matt Stafford is 32 years old.
Yeah.
You know, what are they going to get? Another 4 or 5 years? Like, so,
They can get more.
all right. So, all right, now stop thinking of Tom Brady because Tom Brady. So every 20 years or so, a quarterback plays till he's 43 or 44 years old. Now, I understand. Like, so you think of Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah.
You know, you think of how old was Peyton, how old's Peyton Manning? How old did he play, Phil?
Oh, I think 39. 39.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
but
think
he wasn't
40. I
any
thought it was
good.
40.
No,
He wasn't
39.
any good. You know, I mean, he needed a much better defense. And realistically, I think that I don't know that Stafford is the answer for the Rams. Rams had a really good defense up until the last 5 weeks of the season. And then it started to trail off. Because defense wins championships, not quarterbacks. Jared Goff, hurt as hell, won that first playoff game. He was a first-round pick, and you chose him in the first round. Number 1 overall. We would have wound up with him
Oh, God.
if you guys chose Wentz. And ultimately, so I think Detroit is the winner in this. Now, the problem is that Detroit is such a fugazi franchise that they're not going to know what to do with the first-round pick. But I do think that it sets a precedent. That's what this did. And I'll go back and I'll talk to my Frankie C over here. And I'll say that this is the precedent that got set. Belichick is now going to wind up trading 2 first-round picks and probably a second-round pick. And I think he gets Deshaun Watson.
Thank you.
Now,
That would be amazing.
I can't say that for certain.
I could see him doing that.
But I know that the
can see
Patriots
him doing
are
that.
very good. They're very big on trading out of the first round. The Patriots have chosen, I think they chose a first round pick last year. But for like 3 years before that, they've gotten out of the first round. They always trade out of the first round. So them trading first round draft picks are nothing. Like what are they?
Why should he trade up?
Well,
I could see that happening. I could see that happening with the salary cap that we have going into the offseason. I can definitely see Bill Belichick just trading away our draft picks. No problem.
I'm excited for this offseason.
Madden style. Sorry.
Like
A lot of big name quarterbacks on the market.
Really?
But I heard Ron said towards the end of the season, well, after we got eliminated, he said that there's gonna be some good signings.
Ooh.
And honestly, I mean, I would like to see A-Rob come to Chicago, or see A-Rob come to Washington. I mean, it's gonna be hard because a lot of teams are gonna go after him.
Oh,
I don't like because a lot of like pages on Instagram I go through are like talking about quarterbacks and everything, and I don't think it's convenient to go for Watson as Washington, just because. I mean, I don't feel like we should trade. They said they wanted like 2 first rounds, 2 seconds, and like 1 like.
no, they said 2 first rounds, and I think it was thirds, and 2 young defensive starters.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's a lot.
Yeah. It's not even worth it. Like, you're giving your whole team away, pretty much.
But Watson is really good.
Yeah, but he's not like, that's something you should trade for somebody like, I guess Aaron Rodgers in 2 years. You want to put it that way. But that's way too much. Watson is not anybody, like, he's good. Yes, I'll give you he's good. He's very good. But who knows how he'll be with other teams in my mind. And also, he's not like somebody, there's a few quarterbacks better than him in my mind. So I don't think that much is worth it.
Well, I guess we'll see. We'll see, because I've heard a couple of rumors flying around. And of course, Philadelphia people always love to be in the rumor mill. They put themselves in the rumor mill. I tell you, there's more drama in Philadelphia than there was on General Hospital when Luke and Laura got married. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's what happens in Philly. I fully expect that Watson is going to be in every trade rumor for Hurts and Wentz. The one I heard today was Wentz goes to Indianapolis, Hurts goes to Houston, and and 3 draft picks, all these draft picks go to Houston, and we get Watson. So
but we need a first round.
They'll get 2 first-round picks, one from the Colts, one from Philadelphia, and we get Watson, and they get, and I think Ertz also goes to Houston. When Ertz goes to Houston, Wentz and Ertz and Hurts goes to Indianapolis. How about that?
No.
Well, I saw.
That's a wanker. That's a wanker deal, if I could say ever.
Oh yeah.
I saw something else that there's something saying that we give like a first round to Houston and something. The Vikings get Watson and we get Cousins, and I'm like, oh my!
I saw that on the internet.
Yeah, I'm glad that was a good laugh. I would love for you guys to get Cousins.
Cousins is not that bad. Cousins is not that bad.
Okay. Okay. All right. I would say, yeah, there's a reason why nothing happened in Minnesota since Cousins got there.
Yeah.
All right, I guess. So whatever.
So I would have sworn.
Yeah, that is true.
I would have sworn if they didn't give Cousins an extra.
Definitely didn't go 35 for 13 on the season. Don't worry.
Well, like I said, if they didn't give Cousins an extension, that Wentz was going there. I would have sworn that Wentz was going to Minnesota. So, and it's still possible.
We congratulate Kirk Cousins on his first primetime win this year. Or, getting his first one this year for the first time ever in his career. So congratulations to him. I'm pretty sure that's why no team wants to pick up Kirk Cousins.
So many primetime losses you have? 11 or 12. Okay, no, you're not coming. That's what I just imagined.
All those was from Washington, so let's take it down a notch here.
I will say that Kirk Cousins has always made me laugh.
Really?
You like that?
You like that? Oh, God. You like that? You like that? Listen here. You like? I'm sorry.
But
hey, listen, I love Kirk Cousins, man.
It's funny though sometimes.
Yeah, like I said, he always makes me laugh. I get a big kick out of him.
Did you guys? So I'm gonna take it off of football for like a minute.
Sure.
Did you guys see the Dame shot last night on?
Oh my God! Yes.
Did you see that?
Who they play?
We played the Trailblazers last night.
Yeah.
You got to watch the game highlights. That game ended.
You want me to pull it up?
Bad. It was like.
All right, Hyper Knight, you gotta let him talk.
All right.
It like made me almost cry. It was so. Oh my! I couldn't watch it. Like there was replays and it was. I don't even want to talk about it.
I was busy watching Brooklyn lose a 5 to 6 point lead with only 13 seconds left on the clock.
They lost a 5-point lead with 13 seconds left.
To the Wizards.
Against Washington.
Did what's his name score another 50 points?
Beal?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, but Russell Westbrook did score 44.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. He scores a lot of points, but so Russell Westbrook is on Washington too?
Yeah.
Yep.
They're the last. They're like last. I think they're in the East. I don't know.
You're asking what division they're in?
Yeah.
It's like that Southeast, like Miami, Atlanta, Charlotte, Orlando.
Yeah, but they're last, and
yeah, I mean, it's just like Bradley, and it's crazy too. Like, I don't understand why he's okay with staying there. It's literally like every night you watch them, it's Bradley just trying to save Washington and just can't win. They don't play good defense. Russell, I guess that was his best game yet, but Russell's got his limitations too. He's not an efficient shooter, he's just not an efficient shooter, and it's just unfortunate they don't have. It's crazy because they got some good. I'm a fan of Uchimori. I'm a fan of Davis Bertans, but they're not consistent players. I think Thomas Bryant on IR right now too, if I'm not mistaken, but. Yeah, it's just not a consistent team.
I agree. I mean, I don't watch too much Wizards games since I'm not a Wizards fan, but
right. We've seen him twice here in Philly.
All right. So I actually have a couple more people that are trying to get on here. So Hyper Knight, I really do appreciate you coming on.
Thanks so much, man.
You to be the one that get cut out, but you were the one on here longest. So
I know.
So, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming
on.
Take
care now, Hyper.
All right, see you guys.
Have a good
one.
Yeah.
Take care.
And so, we got the Philly sports fan wants to show his face.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
How you guys doing?
And I also got, I hope she's able to come on. We may have our first lady friend coming on on the show. We're trying to expand here, like some of the girls that need to come on the show. But anyway, we got the Philly sports fan in the house. What's going on, Michael?
Nothing much. I unfortunately I didn't get a chance to. I was busy yesterday. I didn't get to watch the Flyers and the Sixers yesterday. But it's always great when we have both teams winning the same day. And looking forward to the Bruins game on Wednesday. We're 0-2 against the Bruins this season, but that's all about to change coming Wednesday night. So be ready for that.
You got another double. The Sixers play on Wednesday too.
Yes, they do. They play in Charlotte.
Charlotte. It's a final of the 3-game road trip here, and then we'll come back home.
Nice.
Gotcha. Yeah. So and I feel like that they'll win that game too.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So what's your so I guess I gotta ask you, what's the thought on Sirianni here? I think that's like the hot topic here in Philly.
Yeah, so I'm kind of confused on what he was saying in his press conference. I don't really know. I was listening to him on WIP a little bit this morning. Obviously, he was on there for the first time.
Right.
And it kind of seems like he's fitting in with the city well, but I don't know how he's going to fit in with the team. And that's obviously the main concern. That's what we care about. And what everyone wants to know, and he still doesn't know. He hasn't made it clear on who's going to be the starting quarterback. I mean, a guy that's coming from the Colts was being coached on Frank Wright. You would think it's Carson Wentz, but I think it's just going to come down to training camp, and whoever he thinks has the better talent is going to be the starting quarterback. But if Wentz does end up getting traded, I feel like he's going to go to Indy. So
yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I think it's like Jacob Brissett's still there, and
Jacoby Brissett, he's not their future.
They don't have a quarterback under. I think Easton's the only quarterback under contract. They can re-sign him, but
I think he's a free agent
minimum. I just don't see how it's financially feasible for the Eagles to get rid of Carson Wentz, to be honest with you. I think that right now, Sirianni and the Eagles are truly and honestly still evaluating this roster. And I think that they are listening in or trying to see if there is a market to trade Carson Wentz. That'll take some time, but if we do keep him, it's not the worst case scenario. I've constantly said it. I think you got to go into the season with the competition.
And with preseason back this season, hopefully, so it'll be better, I think.
Well, yeah, I guess we'll see. In terms of, I don't expect that there's going to be any type of competition. I think that it's going to be. I think one of them is going to go.
All right, I'm now going to sleep.
Right.
I think that's what's going to wind up happening.
See,
ultimately,
I was riding with Jalen Hurts at the end of the season. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm
this
back.
is the future quarterback. This is the team's franchise quarterback. But I don't know. Like, I still want to believe in Wentz and still feel like there's hope for Wentz, but I just don't know if there is anymore. But I'm hoping Sirianni can work with him and rebuild him and all.
I mean,
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think that he wants to leave. I think that he's done too much here.
Well, I think I did listen into Malcolm Jenkins on Rich Eisen's podcast, and it was really, really telling, and it kind of makes sense. Like the Eagles, I get it. He's your franchise quarterback. I understand what that means, but at the end of the day, you can't coddle some of these guys, and I feel like there's a little bit too much coddling going on for Carson Wentz. If Miles Sanders is not performing, we get under him, and that has to be the same. It has to be the same for every 53 players on that roster. So I think that the Eagles, they didn't do them coddling Carson Wentz over the past year or two. But with the new regime in, with Sirianni, and it's a fresh start. And I hope that Carson Wentz comes into the situation, ready to work, because he's got to come in here ready to work. His job is not there anymore. He lost it. So now he's got to come in here and try to gain it back. And we'll see if he does go. If he does go somewhere else, it might be better for him.
Oh, the camera went off the moment I bring her on. What happened? Oh well. I think she's there. Got the volume down. That light's really off today. But anyways, we'll see. We'll see what he can do. I don't know. Like, Sirianni is supposed to be known as a quarterback's coach. They tried to do that to be able to appease Carson Wentz. The fact that Carson Wentz is not interested in being appeased is kind of telling. So I feel like that he got rid of Doug, and that was part of the problem. And
Moving, I have a question and I talked to Washington about this earlier. What are your guys' thoughts on the Rams and Lions trade? How do you think that'll play out? And like, who do you think won the trade and all?
I mean, I think that the Rams will be good this season with an ad, but I mean, the Rams won't have a first draft pick till 25, and I think they're going to need that because I think Stafford only has a couple years left. But
Really?
yeah.
got you. All right. Well, I think that Stafford. I agree. I believe that Stafford's only got a couple more years left as well. So, I thought that this was like a 2-year trade for the Rams to get rid of 2 years of first round picks for quarterback. I don't know that it does that to me, but that's kind of what my thoughts are, is that it's, that
Right.
he's going to be a lot more involved. If they don't get to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl in 2 years, that's where the problem lies.
Yeah. And what El Parcero? I don't know how to say it.
It's all good. El
Parcero.
Parcero. Philly.
It takes everybody a while to learn at first.
It's all good. That's what we're here for.
What he said earlier about it, I think, and if they don't win championship in 2 or 3 years, then I think it's a bust. We'll see how it plays out, though.
Gotcha. All right. We got Philly Preston. We're going to end it off. We got everybody on the show. One more time. We're going to finish this off. Aiden's come on. You know, we're going to close this out with a blast here. We're going to make it all happen because it's getting time. It's like 10:30 now, or 10 minutes. So we got a 10-minute call before we close this up. So everybody's got a few more minutes. What's up, Preston? How you doing, my man?
I think Preston froze.
Well, you're looking good, Preston. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, I think he froze. I tell you, we're ending this off with a blast. Let me make sure it's all right. All right. We got Aiden on, but his volume's off. So I appreciate it, Aiden, for coming on. I'm not sure who Aiden likes. I think he's a Philly fan. I'm not 100% certain. But anyways, so real quick, let's close this out. Let's close this out with a big one. That definitely is not the daughter who called me.
No, that's not.
She looks too young. She was saying hello. Your daughter was saying hello to me like I'm like, hi. I'm like, hi.
Yeah, no. It's the twins that are bothering me right now, so I had to bring them up with me.
Oh, you got lots of women up there. Lots of women up there. I understand why you have to deal with sports all the time. All right. Since we got all the kids on here now we got all the kids. But
Awesome stuff, man.
This is the future of the Patriot legacy.
There you go.
Pass it off to them.
All right. And so, real quick, let's start this off with Frankie because he's got his hands full. We'll make it quick so you can get off and take care of your family here. What do you expect out of the Patriots moving forward here?
I expect us to. First, let's see who we can get under the center. First we got to get a quarterback. Hopefully, we can't. I'm hoping, we don't do crazy things like sending Houston 2 first-round draft picks and stuff like that to get Deshaun Watson. I don't think, it's worth that. But I do see, I as a Patriot fan, I can see and imagine Bill Belichick doing that. He does have a history and a past of trading away first-round draft picks. But as soon as we get a decent quarterback and we know the quarterback we have, if it's a running quarterback or if it's a pocket passer quarterback, once we find out who we have, I see Bill Belichick wasting our salary cap on weapons for him, such as protecting him on the line at first, and then also getting him the weapons he needs, because we still have, like I said, we still have Marquise Lee and we still have Julian Edelman, who will come back healthy next year, hopefully. But I'm hoping that with the salary cap, Bill Belichick can look at the free agency market and pick up a tight end, because we're in desperate need of a tight end. We have no name tight ends, and hopefully get at least another 2 wide receivers, so that way we can get the quarterback some weapons and hopefully get a shot into making the playoffs, or even a shot in winning our division again. But like I said earlier, it could be another 2, maybe 3 years before I even see my team back to where we used to be. And I'm okay with that. I had 20 years of success. I've witnessed 6 Super Bowl rings, and I'm okay with seeing different things. I'm a sports guy, so I like to see other teams win it, and I like to see history being made. So I give it another 2 or 3 years. Just give us the weapons, give us a quarterback, and we'll be back into it.
You got spoiled.
Just watch.
Yeah, you guys may never see it again.
Watch out for Buffalo.
They're going to become the new
new
Red Sox and not win for like 100 years.
The thing about Buffalo, everybody's saying watch out for Buffalo. The thing about Buffalo is when a team is so dominant the way they are, not all players will stay with Buffalo. A lot of teams are going to look at those players that did Josh Allen good, and they're going to want to come and sign them to their team, so that way, they can do that on their squad. So I don't see Buffalo still having the same team that they had this year. Next year, they're still obviously going to have Stephon Diggs. So that's not going to matter. But definitely they're not going to have. I don't see Cole Beasley returning. I don't see Tyler Knox probably returning. He'll probably end up going somewhere else. So I see Buffalo, losing some players to different teams, and I see Miami actually being the next contenders for the AFC East.
We'll see, man. If two is the answer there, but listen, I'm a big fan and believer of not just Sean McDermott, but McDermott family. But we'll see. That's always the tough part. That's something we had troubles with here in Philly. Like, after 2017, you kind of want to run it back, right? Because it's a logical thing. But this is a business, and Bill kind of understood that during those runs. Is that some of these players, the best was LeGarrette Blount after 2016. LeGarrette wants to go back to New England. And he calls up Bill, and Bill's like, "Listen, we love you. You're great for the locker room, but you just averaged the lowest yards per carry of your whole career." And then that's when he goes to Philly, and he shows why Bill shouldn't have done that. But that's you have to be able to have those tough decisions, and you can't fall in love with players. Something I wish we didn't do here in Philly, but it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, because we definitely fall in love with our players all the time.
That's all the Phillies, even the Phillies,
and even the Phillies, and that's what Bill Belichick said throughout the season. He even said giving Tom Brady the weapons he did before, giving him the 6 rings and stuff like that. It kind of came up to the moment that we are in today. But like I said earlier as well, I just think Bill Belichick is lying. Like Philly sports guy said earlier, Bill Belichick has a history of trading away first-round draft picks and or picking up someone who we don't even need. So. Like I said earlier, the last couple of years, I believe Bill Belichick was just trying to push Tom Brady out and not give him what he needs, so that way he can either retire or do what he did and go to another team. And he did that. So now, with the 4th highest salary cap, Bill Belichick is going to be the Bill Belichick and, do what he normally does. He get the no-name people that nobody knows, and he's going to turn them into superstars. But first things first is he's going to be the guy and get us a quarterback that he knows we definitely need. And now I'm glad that we have an offseason with a bunch of good name quarterbacks that are going to be on the salary cap that we can actually get, such as Dak Prescott if he doesn't go back to the Cowboys, or we can either end up with Carson Wentz. You guys never know. Carson Wentz can come to the New England Patriots, and that will be an amazing thing to see, because if Carson Wentz ends up in the Patriots, I will be returning to the Philly Sports Guy Live with the number 11 Carson Wentz jersey.
He's wearing my jersey, by the way. He's wearing my jersey. So all those Carson Wentz jerseys, if you want to switch them to real Eagles jerseys, you could always put them into the Philly Sports Guy or my last name on there. So, anyways, Frankie, I really do appreciate you coming on. When is your shows? When are your shows?
I have a Wednesday night show, 5:15 p.m. It's called Boston Talk. I give you all your latest sports on Boston news, even for those if you're not even a Boston fan, I talk about a bunch of sports, but I like to mainly cover my Boston teams. And then I have shows on Saturdays where it's just national football news with Frankie Cruz, which will be soon turned into basketball news with Frankie Cruz. I'm hoping to look for a co-host with basketball, so that way it can make it a little bit easier. But I'll be on Saturdays at 1:00 with football news with Frankie Cruz, and Wednesday nights at 5:15 Boston Talk. It'll be my 3rd episode on Boston Talk. You can catch me on YouTube, Frankie C Sports, Northeast Streaming Sports as well. And you can also catch me on my Facebook page at Frankie C Sports.
Do you have people come on like this?
I do, yes.
Frankie, I just want to say real quick, Frankie, as a fellow Latino, please keep doing what you're doing, man. We need more people like you to keep the raza going, if you know what I mean. So definitely, it was a pleasure talking to you. Definitely keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me, Philly Sports Guy. It was amazing. I love coming on this show with you guys. It's amazing. Just to be with a bunch of people that love sports just as me, and to know that I'm not the only one that's a hardcore fan of my team. And it's amazing to be with you guys. And thank you guys for WTF fan and Philly sports fan. Thank you guys for coming on and trying to bust my chops there.
Well, if they couldn't do it, I know I can. So
I'll check you out.
I may have to jump on your show a little bit on Wednesday and
Yeah.
talk smack. So when the Flyers are going to smack down them Bruins, that's what I'm talking about.
Hey, you said that the first 2 games and it actually happened game 1, but what happened? We ended up coming back on the shootout, baby, and then we came out game 2, 6-1. Look what we just did to the Capitals tonight. 4 goals in the third quarter or in the third period. You better get ready because we're hot. We're ready for you guys to come. We're ready to go to Philly, matter of fact, and take you guys out.
Just remember who you're looking up at right now. You're looking up at us. So, but hey, Frankie, I appreciate it. I'm gonna let you go because you got your hands full over there. Thank you so much for coming on, and I'll be talking.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Frankie.
Alrighty.
You have a good night. That's Frankie C. Frankie C. You can tell he got his hands full over there. He's got a house full of women over there. So that's like an ay caramba for him. You know what I mean? Yeah, but WTF, what are you going to end with?
I don't know.
It's always
Go Bulls. Wearing Washington stuff, he's going to be like, go Bulls.
Yeah, go Bulls.
All right, my man. You have a good night. I know it was getting close to the end for you. You were starting to yawn. You're making everybody else yawn. So have a good night, my man.
See you guys.
See it.
And then Michael. We got Michael over here, the Philly sports fan. All right. So what do you got? What do you got to end the show?
Go Birds, go Flyers, go Sixers, go Phillies, and you guys can find me everywhere. Philly sports fan, the Philly sports fan. It don't matter. And yeah, thanks for having me on.
Anytime, man.
Glad that you were able to make it. I know it took a minute for you to figure it out, but we got you on. I knew you were going to make it. So
yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, you have a good night, my man. Take care. I'm going to let you go, and then I'm going to let El Parcero, Philly, here.
My man.
What do you got? What do you got for the last bit? He didn't say go Union, by the way. I was a little upset about that. I was going to say, hey, there's 5 franchises here.
I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man. No, man, definitely, guys, definitely stay tuned for more. Next week episode should be a lot of fun as the Philly sports guy is going to be traveling back. But no, I mean, definitely stay tuned for the Union this week. It's gonna be surprising. You stay tuned till Wednesday. But no, right now it's a good time in Philly sports. The Sixers and the Flyers are playing pretty well right now. So all I'm gonna say is I always do, guys. You know me. I know what it's like to be a Philly sports fan. Trust me, I know what it's like. But let's just have some fun. Let's enjoy this, okay? Wherever these teams take us, let's just ride. Just join the ride. That's all I'm going to say.
Exactly. You got to enjoy the wins while you can. That's the big important.
Trust the process, and let's go Flyers.
That's right. Exactly. Trust the process. 10-9-8 76ers. And let's go Flyers.
Yes, sir.
Oh, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, listen, guys, I appreciate everybody coming on with us.
Thank you, guys.
You guys have a great night.
Until
Let's
next
go,
week.
Philly. Yeah.